Let's get it. There it was, and I'm nowhere near smart enough to come up with this myself. It's what I learned from one of my professors at UT. One of the few things I took away from the English courses there. And I had a problem, and many people in the class had a problem with getting a spark of, creativity, writing it all down, feeling satisfied, going having a good night's sleep, and waking up and going, oh, what was I thinking? This is insane. I can't turn this in. What are people going to think of just throwing it all away? Well, during this class, she brought up a way to defuse that into creativity. I don't know if she came up with it or not, but she had a paradigm by which to write. And it was called the Madman, the Architect, the Carpenter, and the Judge. She said the reason that happens is because the madman talks to the judge and they don't get along. Well, the writing exercise she told us to practice, and it stayed with me ever since, was to handle your creative process in 4 parts. The madman, who is only responsible for creativity, and quite normally you'll only use about 1 page out of every 10 pages the madman writes. That doesn't mean you throw the other 9 away, that means you just save them for future inspiration. Or, you can throw them away, it doesn't matter. But the madman is not to be judged, only inspired to write. The madman's job is not final product, it's the lightning rod of inspiration. After you get done writing everything down, the next step is called the carpenter, whose job is simply to move large blocks of related subject matter close to each other. Paragraphs upon paragraphs, can be a sentence at a time, but location is the architect's job, not grammar. You want to get what's related to each other next to each other. And that's not just even to say that that's all you need to do. Everything that is related needs to be, or otherwise you wouldn't have Easter eggs or caveats or, After you get done with that, you bring in the carpenter. The carpenter's job is grammar. The architect brings a crane, and the carpenter brings sandpaper, smoothing out the writing, making all the seams fit. The final product is the judge, and the judge is the nitroglycerin. The judge should only be used for very, very specific things, and once the judge has a problem, it is immediately important to retire the judge and go back to one of the 3 steps that the judge has a problem with and consult that step, not the judge. The judge should only kick the tires and judge it very, very severely. And when it is found that something is lacking, the judge will just talk smack and tell him to be quiet, and you go talk to either the madman, the architect, or the carpenter and see what you can do. And that's basically to keep the madman and the judge as far away from each other as possible so they don't get into a fight.
So again, in brief, the madman writes the material.
Is the creative conceptualizer.
And the architect
moves large chunks of relative data next to each other. The carpenter smooths out all the language, make sure your grammar, your tense, your commas, your periods are all in the right place. And so it starts off very, very broad and gets very, very, narrow. It's like an inverted Maslow's pyramid,
A judge, what's the judge do again?
The judge is literally that. All the judge does is judge. If the judge finds something out that is lacking, that's when you tell the judge to be quiet, and then you go, okay, I see, and you go back to the other steps and work on it. The judge has no business doing other than doing a binary yay or nay vote like Caesar. But if you let the judge keep on talking after he gives thumbs down, he'll start kicking the madman in the balls.
So we don't really need to judge that much.
No. Judge is icing on the cake.